Hello! In this video, we're going to take a look at some basic use of the loft feature in Onshape. I like to think of this as sort of the third kind of 3D feature after extrudes and revolves. It's actually fourth in the toolbar over here. And what the lofts are good for is creating, they're still sort of like extrusions, but creating three-dimensional objects with profiles that change over the course of their length. So maybe it changes shape, or it twists, or maybe it even bends a little bit. You can do all sorts of things like that with lofts. They smoothly connect two different, or more than two, but we're only going to look at two different two-dimensional drawings, two sketches, smoothly and cleanly with, three-dimensional model. So let's get started with lofts. Now, I mentioned we have to have two different two-dimensional sketches, and they have to be some distance apart because what Onshape is going to do is put, three-dimensional stuff in between them to connect them. But to be able to do that, we need to have two sketches that are some distance apart. And to do that, we really need two planes that are some distance apart. So what we're going to have to do is make another plane, and fortunately we can do that. We can just use plane right here. Create some reference geometry. I'll click on plane. Now there are a bunch of different ways to make a new plane to tell Onshape where a plane is supposed to be, but the easiest is to pick some plane that exists already and just tell Onshape to put another plane some distance away from it. And that happens to be exactly what we want to do here, so I'm just going to select the right plane. And it's already trying to put another one 1 inch away. I want it a little farther away. I'm going to make it 6 inches. There we are, and I'll name this the end plane because I'm going to use the front plane as my start. Click the green check mark, and there's my plane. So now I can make my two sketches, my two-dimensional drawings that I'll connect together with a loft. So I'll start from the right plane, because I said that was going to be my start plane. And I'll look at it from the right here, too. And it doesn't really matter, because this is a demonstration, it doesn't really matter what shapes I use, but I'm going to start off with a circle. So I'll use the center point circle, just put a circle at the origin here, and set the dimension to, I'll just be boring and make it 2 inches. There we go. And just to double check, that is 2IN. And I'll rename this to Start Profile, and click the green check mark. So there's my first profile, the two that I'm going to connect together with a loft. Now on my end plane here, I'm going to do another sketch. Look at this from the right again. And I think what I want, and I'm going to change this shape. Instead of a circle, I'm going to use an ellipse. And this is meant to give you ideas if you're in the wind turbine blade project. So I'll put an ellipse here, make it a lot wider than the circle. And pretty narrow. So I'll call this the end profile, and click the green check mark. So now I'll switch to the isometric view. We see we have our two-dimensional sketches that are 6 inches apart, so we can connect them with a loft now. We're all ready. I'm going to click loft right here. And now all I have to do is select the two sketches. Start, end. And look at that, it's connected them. It's a nice, smooth, clean shape. It's transitioning from a circle to an ellipse. So I'll just rename this test loft because it's really a test or a demonstration. Click the green check mark. And there we go. And then there's ways you can make lofts that have more than one profile along them, but that would take a whole lot of time to explain right now. And it's really not worth it because we can always just make more lofts off the end of this one. I'll show you how to do that. I'll select my end plane here and create another plane 6 inches away from that. And I'll name this. I really should have named the other one the middle plane, shouldn't I? That'll be my second end plane. So I'll draw my sketch on this one now. And let's say I want to keep roughly the same shape. This actually isn't going to be exactly the same shape, but I want my part here to make a little bit of a twist. So I'll do that. I'll draw my ellipse here. And I think I'll make this a little bit smaller, but instead of going straight across like the other one did, I'll slant my ellipse a little bit like this. And I'll make this one pretty thin too. And in a real model, you should be dimensioning these, but I just want to keep going here and show you the concept of the loft. I'll give this one a descriptive name, the twist end profile. And I'll look at it from up here again. We can see it's right here, it's some distance away, and it's definitely on an angle compared to the last one. So I'll do a loft again. I'll click loft here. And the profiles you pick don't have to be sketches. I can also use just the end face of this part and this sketch I drew over here. And it takes some time to think about it, but there we go. It kept sort of roughly the same shape, but it twists a little bit now. So I'll name this twist and click the green check mark. Take some time to think about it. Now my thing narrows a little bit, and it also twists. So you can make things that twist with a loft. You can also make things that bend a little bit. Let's say I want to make a part of this that bends now. And I think what I'll do for that is I want this to bend over a little bit through a 90-degree angle. So what I'll do is I'll make another plane that's some distance away from the top plane. Let's just call it 3 inches. There we go. And I'll click the green check mark. There, now it's hard to see because it's way over here. I'll resize it so you can see some plane where I'm about to draw. So we'll see what happens if I put a sketch on this plane now. So I'll click sketch, click on my new plane, and let's make a big change in shape now. I'm going to turn this one into a box. So I'll draw a rectangle right over here. I won't bother to dimension this one either because I'm just trying to show you the concept. And I forgot to name my second plane, my new plane here now too. But I named that. That's the curve profile. And it doesn't look very curved, but we're about to do the curve part. I'll click loft again here. Click on the end of my twisted section and on my rectangle. Now that's interesting. It's sort of going straight off from the end of this thing and then just shooting straight over. You can see this edge is a straight line, straight over to my rectangle. And I could do that if I want, but I want it to curve. So what I'm going to do here is we can set some set some of these things with the start and end profile conditions. The main one you're probably going to want to use is normal to profile right here. And what that does is, we see that changed it already. That forces the edges, or outer surfaces of the three-dimensional area we're extruding, not really extruding, we're lofting, forces it to be perpendicular to the line in this profile here. So in this context, that forces it to be parallel to the walls of this part. And I'll do the same thing to my rectangle down here. There. Now it's making a nice curve like I said it was going to. You see when it ends here, I'll zoom in. It's absolutely perpendicular, sort of, to the lines in my rectangle. So I'll zoom back out here and click the green, make this the curve. Click the green check mark. And there, that's my sort of useless lofted curve part. And there's a whole bunch of other things you can do with lofts. You can make them follow paths, special curved paths that you draw, and you can have more than one profile sort of in the middle to guide the shape as it goes along. We've just scratched the surface here. You can do all sorts of advanced and fancy things with lofts. And you're welcome to read about that in Onshape's help here, if you click help. And in a minute this will load here. Just type in loft. And you can do this with any of the things in Onshape, of course. But you can read all about how lofts work here. And there's a whole bunch of stuff we didn't cover to see. There's a spline going through all these that are... I think these are the purple ones it makes up for you. But there's all sorts of cool stuff you can do. You can make all sorts of strange geometry with lofts. But the part I showed you in this video is all you'll really need to make some interesting... I wonder if this looks like a wing, or maybe even a wind turbine blade. All sorts of interesting aerofoil-like shapes. And those are important for the wind turbine blade project. So I hope you had fun watching this video. I hope you can make interesting models with lofts now. Thank you.